Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. I welcome you all to this Overleaf session training. My name is Dr. Bilal Hassan. I'm the senior lecturer at London Metropolitan University, London. And I think with me, my colleague, Dr. Maitreyee Dey, is here to conduct this session as a speaker. Under the call of this British Council funded project, I hope this is going to be a very useful session for all of you. So before wasting any kind of time, and I can see, our worthy Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Sultan, is also here. Thank you very much, sir, for your time, special time, and happy to see you here, and many wonderful colleagues as well. So,
Dr. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming online. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your time, sir. Thank you. Now I will hand over to my. First of all, of course, thank you very much to Dr. Shahidullah for organizing this such a nice session and managing all things. And now I will request Dr. Maitreyee Dey for, start the session. Thank you. Over to you, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Bilal. Thank you for the introduction, for inviting me for this session, and thank you all the participants, all the professors from the university from Pakistan. So welcome to the session. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk about the Overleaf, as you all know, and then I have already shared a kind of sample file via email to all of you. So what you can do, you can actually extract that file and upload it to your Overleaf account, and then you can just practice with me while I am showing you. And then please feel free to ask any question. If you have any questions, stop me at the right where I'm discussing something, and then ask any question. Don't wait for the last. Sometimes you may forget what is the actual question. So I'm going to quickly share a presentation with you just to give you a brief idea about it. Just a second. Okay, so I hope you can see my screen. Let me go to the presentation mode. Yeah, okay. So again, I am Dr. Maitreyee Dey. I am colleague of Bilal. I am also senior lecturer in the Computer Science and Applied Computing Department at London Metropolitan University. And this is the session of Introduction to Overleaf. So these are kind of key takeaways for you after this session. So I believe then you will be able to see how to open different templates, how to access different resources, how to structure the Overleaf whole total project, and how you can share with your collaborators or supervisors, and then you will see what are the different document classes, what are the different packages. So hands-on, what we are going to do to see how we can create some different sections, subsections, bullet points, some kind of adding mathematical equations, how to add different figures and tables, and finally the references. Okay, so I believe the session will last about 60 to 80 minutes. It can be a little like more or less as well. So specifically covering each of the topic, let's say about 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so again, starting with the Overleaf structure, then the template, and adding all the rest of the figures and tables, etc. Okay, and then definitely we would like to have some Q&A session, and then if you have any question or you want to do practice something, so we are very happy to do that as well. Okay, so quickly, just an overview. I hope most of you know what is LaTeX. So generally it's pronounced as LaTeX or LaTeX, and it's a software that generally we use to prepare the journal articles, any kind of basically academic purposes. We use LaTeX for creating a nice structured document. So this is again a programming where we follow a particular structure. So it has also some kind of classes. It has some kind of packages that we have to use. It has specific structure that we have to follow in order to write something. Like in programming language where we are using the C programming, we always need some header files, right? So something like that basically. And then when we run the LaTeX actually, so we need to run or compile LaTeX every time. So when we do that, we actually create a nice PDF document. So LaTeX have a various kind of sources, various kinds of options that you can actually customize in order to your requirements. So for example, you want to write IEEE journal, you can customize that way. You want to write Elsevier journal, you can customize that way, right? So this is a whole like short introduction of the LaTeX. So again, these are kind of basic steps that we are going to follow. Again, opening a project template. So once we open a template, we need to see the different classes file. So again, if we have IEEE, we have different class file. If we have Elsevier, we have different class file, right? So we have to check what class file we are using, and then we have to see the right packages. If we want to use different figures, we have to use some kind of packages, okay? And then how to set the formatting and definitely the bibliography. So for example, whether it's IEEE or some kind of textual format or some kind of numbering formats, okay? So these are like basic structure or steps that we are going to follow. So again, this is very kind of useful links about the Overleaf, because Overleaf is a software or tool or online platform, whatever you call it, in order to write LaTeX files or LaTeX documents. And these are like different sources. So the first one is how you can go to the login page. That's like a straight home page. The next one is there are various supporting document available from the Overleaf, and which is very helpful, and you will find everything whatever you need there. And the third one is the templates. So for example, like I said, different journals have different templates. So if you just use that, I'll just show you quickly one or two of them. So if you just usually use that, they are already pre instructed. So they have so many information already there. Okay. And this is the last one is like a offline software. If anyone, I hope some of you definitely know LaTeX, but if not aware with that, so you can use Maitreyee is the software that you can download and then use it on the offline. So this is a kind of quick overview. So I am going to now share with you my Overleaf account or Overleaf page. Okay, so I hope you can see my screen. So this is like my Overleaf home screen look like, okay? And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on the new project and then just click on the blank project. So whenever we click on the blank project, it will ask to write a name. So let's say hands-on and then create. So once we create this one, you can see that it will take you to the Overleaf writing page. So the first thing first is you can see this is the class file, which is the article type of class file. So now this is like the package. So what is the package? Graphics X. So graphics X package is the package will help us to add different kind of images. Okay. So now the next thing is the title. So when you create a overlay file, it will automatically basically create this title section, let's say. Okay. And then you can write anything. So for example, and so on. Right. Session, for example. Okay. So now once you've done this one, you have to, and then the next thing before I move on, author. So because this is the name of the account, it will automatically create the author name as this one, but I'm just going to change this with my name, for example, right? So if I done this one, so title and the author, I have already altered the information. And then the next thing is, the important one is to recompile. So when you recompile, you are basically creating the PDF file. So now you can see that this is the hands-on writing session, right? And if you want to download this PDF, just click on this button and then you can download your PDF, okay? And before we move on, let me quickly show you how to share. So this is like the share button. So now this is more on plug and play, I would say, because there are so many different buttons are here, and then you can actually use them to write effective LaTeX file. So what I'm going to do, I'll actually show you all of them and how to do it. So before we move on, so this is like the share button. So once we click on that, you can basically add any people's email ID, and then you can choose what role you want to give them, whether it will be editor, reviewer, or just the viewer, so that they just see, but they cannot make any addition on that. Okay, so depending on that one, you write the name of the people, and then so once you select, for example, let me select, so you just see that invite. So if you invite, then they are able to see and edit the same file on the real time along with you. Okay, and then if you have a very basic Overleaf version, you can only add 1 people at a time. But if you have the subscribed version, you can use, I think, 10 or more. All right, so moving on to that. So once you have the title and author, then this is like kind of starting and ending of the whole document, and that is mandatory. And then we are not going to do any kind of alteration on that. So this is like the begin document, and this is the end document. So whatever we are going to write, it has to be within this particular, let's say, window. Okay, so make title. So this is basically, we are calling this title that we have created here. Okay, so now the section. So in order to add different section, you have to use this command. So how we can add more sections? So it's easy. So now you can click on this. Can you see this normal text, right? And there is a little drop down menu. So when you click on this one, you will see what type of section you want to create. So whether it's like a subsection, whether it's a normal section, paragraph, or something like that. Okay, so let me create a subsection under the introduction, let's say. So for example, background. So we all need background study, right? So this is like the background study. Now let's add few more sections just to see. Now I am adding one more section, which might be the methods. And then I'm going to add one more section, which is like the results. Let's say. Okay. So now if I compile again, you will see that it has been created, and the numbering is automatically, right? So you don't need to worry about the structuring or restructuring. And then you can see the subsection also been created, background study. And then if we add more subsection, and then it will be auto numbered accordingly, right? 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. So this is how basically you can create your section and subsection. So let's come to the, let's see, we have. So let's come to the inserting figure. Okay, so in order to insert a figure, you should have some figure downloaded already in your computer, and then you can directly drag and drop that particular figure in this left side panel where you have this main text. Okay, so I have already downloaded 1 or 2 figure, so I'm going to show you 2 options. So this is one I am just dragging and dropping, and click on upload file. So now you can see that I have uploaded 1 figure into this panel. So I'm going back to the main file, and now I'm going to insert this figure into our LaTeX article. So this is the button where you can use in order to insert a figure. So click on that one. So now you have different options, right? So you can upload the figure from your computer. You can upload a figure from this project file, which I've already downloaded. And then you can actually include any figure from the other project that you already have, or you can add something from any URL. So because I have already downloaded here or uploaded here, so I just use from project file. So I have one figure, and then you can actually select these things. Basically, this means that they will automatically create some command in order to use caption and label. So we will see what are these, and then you can actually choose what kind of size you want. Okay, so let's say full width, and then insert figure. So now you can see that this particular command has already created. So again, so in order to create anything like the bullet points, figures, tables, so the specific commands is it's always you have to have a begin and you have to have a end of that particular thing, okay, or particular section. So this is figure. So we have a begin figure and we have an end figure. Within that, this is kind of command where we want the positioning, whether the figure will be the center or the left line or the right line, something like that, okay? And then this is basically fixing the size of the figure, which is like the whole line width. So whatever the line width we have, the figure size will be like that. And this is the name of the figure. And this is the caption, right? So let me run it and then I'll show you. So, okay, this is the figure. So now you want to reduce or increase the figure size. So for example, I want to reduce. So I am using it 0.5. And you can see that the figure size has been reduced. So now adding a caption. So for example, this is a picture of a bird. And then label, let's say, okay. So recombine. Now you can see the figure caption has been changed. Okay. So let's add some text, for example. Let me open up. So let's say I have added some random text. Okay. So don't worry about that. Let me shorten this one. So now, for example, we want to cite this figure somewhere. Let's say whatever, and then as shown in figure. So now we want to add this figure. So what we are going to do, we use ref and enter. So you can see this is the figure level. So I'm just selecting this one. So now you can see this is the figure label and which is actually coming here. Okay. So now if I recompile this, you will see that this is automatically added as a figure 1. Okay. So the more you figure add and then whatever the sequence you will do, it will automatically change the figure number. Okay. So now let's add quickly subfigure. So now I'm going to show you how actually you can add subfigure because you might don't know how to do it, right? So Overleaf subfigures. So you go to this Overleaf guides. I have already provided this link to you, so you should be able to access it. So, and then from here, you can actually just copy a particular command. Okay. So this command is basically for 3 figures and we are going to add 2 figures. So we might need to delete one of them. Okay. So let me, sorry. So let me go back here and then paste this one. Now, one important thing is just look at this. In order to add subfigures, you need to add this packages. If you don't use these packages, then your this subfigure command is not going to run. It will show some error. So that's why the packages are very important. Okay. So, and then you have to add in the top. So I'm adding this packages. So now I need to actually upload a new figure in order to have two figure all together. So let me click, and then now I'm selecting upload from computer. So I do have this one. Add it somewhere here. So now again, now I have already downloaded the figure, so I'll just use this one. And then I am going to say, yeah, okay. So now we have two figures. So now you can see like why we are doing the sub figures. This is figure one and this is figure two. Okay. So now what we want actually to have all the figure together. Okay, we're not talking about these errors because we have two figures. So we are going to change this figure actually. So instead of this, we will have download one. So basically, we are actually replacing the figure name with the actual figure that we have here. Okay. So now let's see. So I'm not changing anything, right? So this is again begin figure and this is your end figure. And then whenever you are adding the sub figures, you must have like begin sub figure and the end sub figure. And you have captions and labels for each of them. And this is where you are including that particular figures and fixing its size. So let's run it. Right. So now you can see that within the one figure, you have A and B because you are writing the articles, right? All the time you need to add multiple figures all together. So you must have this one. And then again, you can increase your size, let's say 5, and then this one is 5. So this basically cannot fit within one page. So that's why it's going bottom and top. So you can always alter with this kind of situation by rescaling the image size. So yeah, so you can see. So depending on how you want to see them, you can actually add that. So this is all about figure, and this is all about adding the subfigure, how to add captions, labels, and then how you can actually cross-reference them. So for example, because we have a bird here, let me see if this will automatically become, let's say, tiger. Okay. So we have two figures, and then I want to change this one. Let's say the tiger. Okay. So now if we recompile, going back to the, so here you can see this is, okay. Okay. So yeah, here you can say it's figure one. Okay. So let me recompile. And then here you can say it's figure two, right? So basically depending on the figure positioning, it will automatically adjust that one. So this is the end of our figure. If you have any question, please ask me now. Then I will move it to something else. Okay, so right. This is our end of figure. So now, whenever we are adding different kind of text, so we might need to add different kind of bullet points. Okay, so if you go here, yeah, so you can see that there are two kind of bullet list. One is the normal, the circular one, and one is the numerical one. Okay, so let's select this one first. Okay, so when you select this one again, it will start with begin and end and this item. So what this item means, it has like different kind of bullets numbers. Okay, so the more item you add, the more points you can add. So for example, I would say again, okay, bird. And then the next item I want to add. And then, okay, leave it like that. Okay, so and then we compile. So you can see that this become like different bullet points. Okay, so now adding the numeric one. So this will again be item, but the type of item has been changed. This one is the itemized one, and this one is the enumerate one. Okay, so if I just copy and paste the same item list and then recompile, yeah, so you can see that this one has become 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now changing the fonts. Okay, so for example, this is bird and I want to make it bold. This one I want to make it italic. So these are like different font style, and then you can select. So for example, the birds, I want to keep it bold, right? Oh, I this cat as well. That's okay. The main thing is you need to know how to do it. Okay. So now we can see the bird become like a bold and this one become the italic one. Okay. So this is how basically you can use or you can create different kind of items. So the next thing is the table. So here you can use this one, select size. So you can select how many number of rows and columns you want. Okay. So once you select this one, let me select 3 cross 3. Okay. So basically here you have again the begin and end command where you have different kind of functions, let's say. So it's a table and then begin and end. Okay. And then again, this is the position. And this is the caption and this is the label. So label is very important for cross-referencing your items or your particular table or figure into the actual text. Okay, so let's coming back here. So for example, we are adding some kind of accuracy value, let's say. Okay, accuracy. So this is like the table name. Okay, and then the precision, and then it might be recall. Okay, and then we are going to put some values, 90% for different methods, let's say. Okay, and then we have 88 and then 76. This is, let's say, 78, 66, and 88. And then if I recompile, what will happen? So your table has been created. So now when the table has been created, we need to add some kind of borderline, let's say. Okay, so in order to add borderline, so you need to add H line. So let me run each and every time so that you know how the command is changing. So when I add H line on the top, so it's created on the top and at the end. If I want to create the H line everywhere for after like each row, so basically we need to add the H line after the each row. Okay, so recompile. Now you can see the horizontal line everywhere. What about the column line? So this is basically this CCC is representing your number of columns. Okay. So if you need a line here, you need to actually put this sign for each of them. Let me see for one at the beginning and one at the end. Yeah, right? So this is your column line. And then if you want to add the column line everywhere, we compile. So that's your table look like, okay? And then again, you can add any kind of captions, comparison, sorry, comparison table or something, okay? So this will be your table. And then again, if you want, same way, you can cross-reference. So for example, if I just copy one line here and then just wanted to show, okay, as shown in table. So now let me show you how you can do the cross-referencing using this little button. Okay, so this is for the cross-referencing. So click here and then it will automatically create this reference command. And now I want to add my table here. So you select from the drop down that which one you want to actually reference here. And this is here. Okay. Right. So you can see this is your table one. So the more table you add, and then if you want to change the sequence, it will be easy to do it. Okay. Right. So this is your table. Now moving to mathematical equation. Okay. So here basically insert math. So inline is when you are actually using some kind of mathematical commands within your text. So that time you use inline. And for the display, when you have like a proper equation within your academic article. So let's try the display one. So this is kind of starting and ending of your equation command. So what you can do, you can just write anything between this, okay? So let me write E equal to MC square. So you know how to add square, which is using a cap and then 2, okay? So recompile. This is your equal to MC square equation is added. So now if you want to add equation number, then you have to do something extra. Then you have to actually use begin and end. So let me quickly show you begin and end how to do it. So now we don't need this one anymore. And then instead of table, basically you need equation. Right. So if I run this one, what will happen? Yes. So now you can see once you are adding this one as an equation, this one actually added as a proper equation where you have a proper equation numbering. So remember, if you are using this button, this one specifically, it will not produce any kind of equation numbering. But if you have used this kind of format, then it will create basically the equation numbering as well. Okay. So now just quickly, I want to show you how to do something else. For example, how to use some kind of summation or something like that. So this is the symbol plate. So if we click here, basically you can see there are so many different kind of symbols that you can actually use. So let's say we want to use sum, okay? And then we want to use some kind of value. Let's okay. Again, x equal to sum of x plus y, let's say. And then you need, for example, something. Let something is. Yeah. Okay. So maybe this is your equation, right? So this is how basically you can add any kind of different symbols. So you can add arrows, you can add different kind of operations. So basically I want to use this operation, that one. So sum, yeah. Okay. So, and then you can use different kind of infinite operations, different kind of relationship, whether it's like approximation or not, and then miscellaneous. Okay. So there are different ways of actually including this kind of symbols. So, but don't worry about that. If you don't have this panel, always you can check the Overleaf support file, and then you will find out that what is the actual name of that particular equation. Okay, so that's not a problem. But this is how basically you can use the sum, right? And then, for example, I hope you have seen sometimes in the sum you have something on the bottom and something on the top, right? So if you have to add that one, I think I need to check as well, but I think yes, all right. So if you use that underscore of something, that will actually become your this. So for example, I want to add x equal to 0, right? And then this is something, let's say z, let's say z, okay? And then I want to use, I think, yeah, perfect. So, and then infinite, right? I want infinite, right? Okay. So now you can see how I have added the bottom and the top of the sum. So basically when you use this underscore, that one actually your, it's called, I think, superscript. It will become the superscript. And when you add this cap, then it will become the subscript. Okay. So this is how basically you can create a equation. So if I run this one, and then you will see that how nicely the equation has been created here. Okay, so this is a, I believe, a kind of end of equation. Now we need to jump to the referencing. So in order to create the referencing, there are two different kind of way. So where you can actually add bibliography file at the bottom of the your LaTeX file, or you can create a different LaTeX file, bibliography file, and then just cite them from there. Okay, so I'll prefer the other one. So I'm going to show you basically the second one. So now basically you can create new file, for example. So whenever you are creating new file, you can give any name, but remember to give the extension is .bib, which is representing the bibliography file. So create. So I have created this file. Okay. So now I might need to, I think it will be always better in the Google Scholar, to be honest. I'll just use Google Scholar. Okay. So for example, from the Google Scholar, if you particularly find out the bibliography file or bibtext file we call it, just copy the whole details from here and paste in your bibliographic document, okay? And once you've done that one, go back to your main file. So once you go back to your main file, basically you have to include that particular bibliography file here, okay? So how basically you can do that? You basically need to use a bibliography style, and then you need to include the particular bibliography file name, which is ref. Okay, so this is how basically you can add your bibliography file, but in order to show them you have to actually cite them. Okay, so for example here I want to cite my bibliography file. How you can do that? You can click on this button, which is called Insert Citation. So if you click here, you basically see the drop-down menu of all the relevant references that you have added in your reference.bib file. So I selected this one, and once I recompile, let's see what is happening. Right. So now you can see that my bibliography file has been added here as one, and automatically the references has been created here. Okay. So again, I'm repeating, in order to create your bibliography, and then whatever the sequence you will do, it will automatically rearrange the numbering. So that is not an issue. So again, you have to create a new bibliography file, give the extension of .bib, and then you need to copy and paste the BibTeX format of it. And then this is basically your identification or unique kind of cross-referencing ID, let's say. And then when you are coming back to your main references, you must need to cite them. And definitely at the end, you have to use the bibliography style, and you have to include that bibliography references. Okay. So this is how basically you can add your different references, or you can add your different articles. Okay. So I think I have covered most of the thing. If you have any question, you can ask, or if you feel like you wanted to know something else, definitely let me know. So I think, yeah, I've covered all of
Thank you.
them.
Thank you very
So
much.
now let me
Thank
quickly show you how to actually upload different kind of article or thesis file as well. So for example, it's not basically limited to articles, but also if you go to the home page, and here, if you click on the new project, you will see that not only the journal article templates, you also have book, you also have different kind of poster template, you also have different kind of CVs and resumes and template. You can create a different kind of report, presentation, and even your master or PhD thesis. Okay. So let me quickly show any of the journal articles. So let me click here. So you can see there are hundreds of journal articles are here already there. Okay. For different journals. This is MDPI, ACM, and then there are many more. Okay, show more. So these are all the journals that I've already associated with Overleaf in order to give you the access of their specific article style, so that you don't need to struggle at the last minute. Okay, so for example, I am going to create the IEEE official template, let's say. Okay, so these are various IEEE official formats. One is for the transaction, one is for maybe different conferences, or some of them are very specifically for particular journals as well. Okay. So for example, this IEEE demo template for computer science journals. Okay. So let me just click on the first one. So once you click on that one, you can see you want to see as a view PDF or view source or open as a template. So you need to click this one, open as a template. So when you click on this one, basically your template has been added into your home file. And this is your basic IEEE file. And then it has so many different instructions. And if you read through them, you will understand everything. Again, like I said before, you have to add a document class file. And here it's like a journal. And then if you remember, the one that I have used, the class file was article. But here, specifically, they have mentioned the class file is IEEE trans, which is for IEEE transaction. And yes, there are different kind of packages is already given, because it's depend on how you are structuring your articles. So if you need this package, basically you need to uncommand, or if you don't need it, just leave it like that. Okay. So there are like, again, this is like citation package. There are like so many instructions. The graphic packages, if you need different kind of graphics to add, if you need to rotate them, if you need to fit them into the two pages or something like that, right? So you can actually use different kind of packages for that. Again, the math packages, for example, you want to add different kind of algorithms, so you can use these packages in order to write a proper algorithm. Yes, they have like a bunch of different packages. And then when you keep on going down, this is basically your title section. So you can write your title here. For example, my first journal. Okay. And then if you just recompile, you will see the title has been changed. Okay, so this is how basically you can add your title. This is basically the author page. So they have, like, for example, 1, 2, 3 authors. So you can add more authors, or you can delete some of them. You can keep just one authors. And then this way, basically, you can add different kind of informations, right? And these are thanks means, these are all different kind of information about that particular authors, which actually as a thanks means as a note that will add it at the end of this page. So this is basically thanks. Okay.
ये piano
And
बजा रहा था सारे वहाँ
then
dance कर रहे
basically this is your abstract. And then they have actually provided all the instruction. Abstract goes here. This is how you can add your different keywords. This is how you can add your different sections, which is the section introduction. So you will find a bunch of information within the template that is already provided by each of the journal, and that will be very helpful in order to start writing. Whoever have not started yet, wherever you are, they can always find it useful. Okay, so this is how basically you can add different templates. So any question?
Thank you very much, Dr. Mehdi. Thank you very much for insightful session. But before we
I
go for
cannot
the
hear
question
you.
answer, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me now? Is it better?
Yeah, sure, we can hear you.
It's
Anyone
not a
have
problem.
any
I cannot hear anybody.
question?
No, it's the problem I think it's the problem at your end. I believe.
Okay.
Maybe your speakers are off.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Before we, thank you very much, Mehdi, for the very insightful session. But before we move forward, all of you, please, I just put the link to the feedback form. If you can complete this short survey very quickly, that would be really helpful. It's not very long. And there are 4 opportunities I'm going to share with you in the chat box. One is our special issue in MDPI electronics. This is a Q1 journal, and that is open on multimodal biometrics for surveillance and digital evidence processing in smart cities. The deadline is 15th of January. If you have contributions, please do let us know before the formal submission. The second one is we have a conference on cloud and IoT coming at London Metropolitan University, and the deadline is 14th of July, but there are chances of a little bit extension, right? So this is an IEEE conference. The proceedings are going to be published in IEEE. The third one is we are going to propose, like this year, IEEE EduCon. This is the flagship conference of IEEE Education Society. The next year it is going to be in Cairo, and we have a special session on AI, the nexus of ethics, inclusion, and sustainability, human-centered higher education. So this is another opportunity you can look for. If you have potential contributions, please do let us know. Fourth one, as the last one, is our special issue going to open in December 2025. That is IEEE Transaction on Learning Technologies. The proposed title of special issue may be Next Generation Higher Education, the AI Ecosystem for Future Digital University. So if you have some contributions, some of the colleagues working in that domain, please do let us know. We will definitely help you in this part. Go for the submissions. So yes, now I will open the house for the question answer, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was a very fruitful interaction, and I hope all the members must have learned a lot of new things, and I hope they will apply in their future publication. I'm also thankful to Dr. Maitreyee Dey for her time and one wonderful explanation regarding Overleaf and LaTeX usage. Now I ask all the colleagues, if you have any question, you can ask here directly. I think everybody understand it and they have no question.
Maybe you can try out some examples, and if you have anything, you can later on discuss. Because Overleaf is one of the important tool. Almost all the publishers, they are now moving to the Overleaf, and Microsoft Word-based submissions, they are discouraging at the moment. It's not stopped, but they are discouraging. If I mean, you can look at around the examples in the next few minutes, and if you have any question, you can ask. Otherwise, you can even discuss later on. And one of the key thoughts I would suggest at this point that you can use this opportunity to create templates of your BSc dissertations, MSc, and the PhD dissertations for your classes and share with the students. And you can maybe 30 minutes you can invest with the master students and give them the same to them. We will also share the video as well, so that is going to be really helpful. Yeah, I mean, we can stay here for 5 minutes, and if there is any question, you run through the examples and ask, please.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bilal. I think for it's okay. And please also share the recording. We will share with the faculty and students as well if they want to use it in the future. They will take help from that. Dr. Bilal, do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So I think, if they have any question in future also, they can ask later. So they don't need to like now. And I think most of them may be the faculty members and they might have already know about it. So it's fine.
Yeah, most of faculty members, specifically from physical sciences, they are using it. And some of our faculty members are new to this platform. That's why I asked Dr. Bilal to share the recording, and then we will share it with our faculty to use it in the future and take help from that.
Okay, that's
once
absolutely
again,
fine.
thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much. It was
thank you
a
very
great
much.
interaction.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time. And Dr. Hidra and all the participants, please keep an eye on these submissions. If you have anything to publish, definitely do share with us, and we will definitely help you in that part. That is going to be a wonderful thing. And thank you, Maitreyee, for your time. Thank you very much. Can I have a call? Can I have a call on Teams? Quickly. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. We can conclude. Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you. Have a
Bye.
nice day.
Bye.